Hello there everybody, Jordan back again with another review, and this is going to be for the 2018 film The Strangers Pray at Night, and this is directed by Johannes Roberts and stars Bailey Madison and Lewis Pullman. When a family travel to a secluded mobile home to stay with some relatives, they never thought they would be met by the murderous strangers. Well guys, we do have The Strangers Chapter 3 coming very soon, so I thought I'd delve back into The Strangers Pray at Night because it is the only Strangers movie I have not reviewed on this channel so far. And I only watched this for the first time a couple of years ago. When The Strangers Chapter 1 came out, I thought I'd give this a go because a lot of people online were saying like it's a really good movie. But I am not a fan of the original Strangers. I think it's one of the most overrated horror movies ever. So I kind of avoided this one for quite some time. And when I finally got to it, I really enjoyed it. So I was looking forward to this rewatch and doing this review because I remember really just getting a lot of entertainment value out of it. I gotta say, guys, I think I liked it even more this time. Now, what I don't like about the original Strangers, guys, is that it is a movie that has two very unlikable protagonists, and it just has some long, drawn-out sequences that kind of get repetitive and feel quite boring and dull at times. It's not a movie that really works for me, but there are some things to like about it, where the strangers are sort of coming out of the shadows, the whole lighting of the movie, the build-up of tension at times does kind of work in some moments, not so much in others. But what I like about this film, guys, is it kind of expands upon all of that, takes it into this movie and turns it on its head a little bit, where we don't have a movie that is just basically doing these long drawn-out sequences, but it keeps all of the strangers hidden within the shadows, being these very scary characters, which I will give the original, the strangers are quite menacing and sinister. Takes it into this movie and turns it more into a slasher film, a very fast-paced one at that, and that totally works for me. Now, what I really like about this one, guys, is the location. It totally works for what this movie is going for. The original film is just in a house. There's nothing wrong with home invasion movies. I like a lot of them. This one, it just feels like this is a more expanded playground for the strangers to basically toy with this family of four, their victims, basically. And whilst all this movie might seem very cruel at times, the strangers just feel like they're having the time of their lives because this is what they were kind of born to do, and this is what they get a kick out of. Just chasing these characters into different trailer homes, across fields and everything. It's the ultimate playground for them. And what I like is how Johannes Roberts really lights up this place because the movie just looks gorgeous. I mean, the lighting with the mist and everything, just the mist dancing around the lighting just works so well. But we've also got like these little long stretches of fields where just little bits are lit up by floodlights and our characters are being chased through them. The car headlights that come on many times throughout this movie just light up what's happening on screen and works so well. It's a visually stunning slasher film, in my opinion. Even with this vast openness, though, the strangers do what they do best and seem to find ways to corner the victims here in this movie, our protagonists, into these tight situations where you don't know how they're going to get out of it. And it just brings a sense of dread and makes the strangers very scary characters. But it's never through the fault of the characters in this movie. I mean, there are some character decisions I don't like, which I'm going to get to shortly. But when it comes to, the victim sort of being cornered by the strangers, it feels like the strangers have just outsmarted them and are always one step ahead, which makes them very smart but very dangerous antagonists. I gotta say, there's some awesome moments in this movie, guys. Some really great scenarios that really work for jump scares and everything. One moment where our main protagonist, played by Bailey Madison, Kinsey, is being chased by one of the strangers, and she runs down this little sort of cylinder tunnel, and she's just sitting there and she screams, "What the hell do you want from me?" And another stranger pops up from the darkness. She's been hiding in the cylinder all along waiting for Kinsey. And my God, man, that is just such an effective jump scare. It's so well done. And again, credit to the lighting here. Johannes Roberts really knows how to light this movie up. Also, we have the Jack-in-the-Box scene where Kinsey is basically walking toward the Jack-in-the-Box that's been wound up. And when it pops up, just, I can't remember, it's Dollface who's hiding behind there with the sheet over her head. That's the same colour as the Jack-in-the-Box. It pops up and you're like, holy shit. Moments where characters are just having a quiet moment where they think they've escaped and cars are just driving through the trailer that they're sitting in. It's just, these scenarios just never let up. There's always something happening in this movie, always something awesome as well. And how can I not mention the pool scene? This seems to be everyone's favourite moment of this movie, and it is a great little sort of action set piece that we have there. And it's directed so well. You know, we got this young boy played by Lewis Pullman, who's basically trying to get help and get an ambulance and everything because his father's stuck, his sister's in harm's way, and from nowhere, this stranger just comes up to him and starts fighting with him in the pool. He just takes this golf club and smacks her face. And what I love about that moment is the way Johannes Roberts has this sort of wide shot and zooms in as this stranger's running at him. It's awesome. And then he does another wide shot where this sackhead is swinging the axe at him and everything. And it's all lit up, neon. You know, really the lighting again, he does something different a little bit here, making it such a colourful scene that just has such a positive effect on what's happening with the light bouncing off the pool. I feel like I've got a real fetish for the light in this movie, but I do. It's just such a well-lit film, and the music's on and everything. Like, there's a lot of great music in this movie. I think it's Kids in America while this scene is on, and yeah, it just works so well, man. It's such a great scene. Probably the best moment in any Strangers film, to be honest. Also, just on the music there, I love how the strangers are playing music from the car radios and everything whilst they are waiting for their victims to answer the door, or other times where they're just taunting their victims, and the soundtrack here just slaps. There are so many great song choices in this movie that just absolutely work a treat. And I gotta mention the score. The score as well, I just felt it flowing through my veins when I was watching this movie. It's almost like Carpenter-esque theme where it just builds this sense of dread, and it just feels like a total horror movie theme tune. It just works so well. Now, just on the little family members that we've got here, guys, I did like all of them, to be honest. I mean, the mum and dad character don't have too much to do, but they're fine. And they just want the best for their daughter. But the daughter, played by Bailey Madison, Kinsey, is definitely the standout character in this movie. She's like this teenage rebel, really, who's been sent to boarding school. She doesn't want to go, but her mum and dad think this is best for her because they just can't seem to get her on the right path. And while she's there, she does show off a lot of her sort of inner fighting skills because she is this teenage rebel, but also she never shies away from absolutely being terrified at times. But she's got that bravery behind her as well to basically take on the strangers when she needs to. But the look on her face at times when she is being chased through this sort of trailer park by these strangers, and when she's being cornered, man, it's terrifying. You really believe every single bit of emotion that's draining out of her face. She's such a good performance from such a young actress in this movie. I think her character's 16. I don't know how old Bailey Madison was when she filmed this, but man, what a standout character. She's awesome. There's a moment in the third act where we sort of expand upon one of our strangers a little bit, the sackhead guy, by not really expanding on him too much. And what I mean by that is it feels like there's a little bit of a supernatural element to him where he kind of turns into Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees, but doesn't at the same time, because he's been blown up by this car, but he's still surviving. He's driving this car, chasing Kinsey, and it's all on fire and everything. Such another awesome scene. Man, I fucking love this movie. And it just feels like this guy can't be put down, but it stays true to its roots by not going down the supernatural route, and it does eventually sort of eat away at him, all these burn scars and everything. So I really like that. The way they just implemented that little Michael Myers / Jason Voorhees moment just for a couple of minutes there. It really worked and made him such a terrifying villain. He is definitely the scariest stranger, just swinging that axe about and scraping it along the floor and everything. I wouldn't like him chasing me down a dark alley, put it that way. I mean, the guy is just absolutely relentless, but speaking of relentless, so is the whole movie. This film takes about 20 minutes to get going, but you're never bored with the dialogue or anything like that. Just sort of learn about this family and their personalities. But once it get going, man, it does not stop. It is relentless. It's so entertaining. There are so many moments, like I've spoken about. It never lets up. It doesn't really give you too much time to breathe. And it's under 90 minutes. This is like 86 minutes long, and you're just having so much damn fun with it. It's just such a good sequel, and it's just a movie that surpasses the original in every single way, for me personally. Now, I didn't really know whether to put this in the review, but I'm just going to say it anyway, because this is how I personally felt. Now, the strangers kind of just do this damn thing because they want to, but there's a moment in this movie where this Kinsey character, I believe, says, "Why are you doing this to us?" to this doll-faced character after she unmasks her. And she just turns around and says, "Why not?" That's the only explanation. Kind of feels like a Michael Myers-esque thing where he just does it because he can. But I feel like there's a little bit of commentary on violence in the world there and how horrible and sinister people can be, but they just are. And there's not really a treatment for that. They just do it because they want to do it. And sometimes they just can't be helped, basically. I mean, that's just my take from it. I'm not thinking this is a movie that's got too much social commentary in there, but that one little line of dialogue made me think about that. You know, that people have just got this violence in them and will do despicable things to people. Now, guys, I do have a few negatives with this film. It's not perfect by any means, but I will say, whilst there's so many creative scenarios here, and so many great setups where these stranger characters are cornering our victims, and just great action set pieces in here and there, some of the execution on the kills is not great. I mean, you do feel a lot of the deep cuts and everything here, but most of these kills are just knife kills and nothing much more. And I think this movie could have elevated so much if we just done some creative shit and had some sort of practical effects in there or something. But they are just pretty standard cop-out kills, really. But the build-up to them and everything sort of makes you forget about that. But because I'm doing this like spoiler review and going into a little bit of detail, I did notice it this time. And it is a little bit of a shame. There's also a few little horror traits in here, which I can forgive in a movie that I'm having so much fun with, but I really wish that horror would stop doing this. We've got the typical injured leg. So our main character, Bailey Madison, Kinsey, is just running around for the second half of this movie with a stab wound in her leg, which slows it down. I don't think that amps up the scares too much ever in horror movies. It just makes you think, why have you hurt your leg? I've seen this a million times before. The car not starting. Granted, it does get bashed in by another car, but it's just an easy way of doing the car not starting scenario, isn't it? And also the phones. I mean, none of these characters take their phones with them, and when they come back to the house, they've all been smashed in by the strangers. Who doesn't keep their phone on them? Come on. But I do feel for writers in this day and age, because it must be very hard to do a horror movie based in the present day where characters aren't really allowed to use their phone. They've got to find a way to get rid of that phone because it's too easy to call for help at times, isn't it? But yeah, this one, I appreciate it more when they do better writing with that. Yeah, it just felt a little silly. I do have a little bit of a problem with Lewis Pullman's character as well, the brother to Kinsey in this movie. Now, I like the guy. I like all of the characters in this. And when I said that it's no fault of their own where they're being cornered by the strangers and everything, there are other moments where this character infuriated me with some decisions. Now, he leaves the dad for meat to the wolves at one point. The dad has been impaled in this car, and he says, "I'm going to go and get help." And yes, it's a catch-22 situation because he needs to go and help his sister and get help, but he's basically just left his dad there for the strangers to just finish off. And I think maybe more of an attempt to maybe reverse the car or something, try and get out of this situation while they had a bit of time, get his dad out of there. I think more effort could have been put into that. And he never, ever, ever thinks back to going back to his dad after that. It's like he kind of just forgets about him. Also, there's a moment where he has the chance to shoot Dollface. He's got the gun, it's loaded. Dollface has just killed his mum, for God's sake. He's trying to protect his sister and get back to his dad, and he cannot pull the trigger. I don't care. If someone had killed my mum and my dad was in harm's way, I would pull that trigger no matter what. And to protect my sister, I would pull that trigger without hesitation. If someone's trying to kill me and harm my family. And he just doesn't. He kind of chickens out of it. And at this moment, Bailey Madison, I keep calling her that, I mean Kinsey, wants to grab the gun and says, give me the gun, I'll shoot her. And he doesn't give it to her. And that just shows how badass she is, because I believe she would have done it. But yeah, it just adds more to why her character is great. And the brother is a little bit of a pussy. But despite these negatives, guys, I love this movie. This is such a fun time. I need to get it into my Blu-ray collection behind me there. I just have such a good time with it. I would watch this again tonight. You know, I only watched it yesterday. I would happily watch it again right now. I just think it's such an awesome slasher and a sequel done absolutely right. I'm just going to go ahead and make this movie now, guys. I'm going to give The Strangers Prey at Night an 8.5 out of 10. The best Strangers movie by a landslide. Maybe The Strangers Chapter 3 will change that, but I doubt it. Okay, guys, at the end of these reviews, I always like to leave a little fun fact. Now, a fun fact for The Strangers Prey at Night is that the original script actually had Liv Tyler in the opening scene being killed by the strangers who came to finish her off. I would have loved that, because I can't stand it in that original film. As sadistic as that makes me sound, shoot me. Okay, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this review. Don't forget to check out my other Strangers reviews. I'll leave them in the link down below. What do you think of The Strangers Prey at Night? Please do let me know. What do you think of this franchise in general? Because I think it's one of the weakest ones out there, but this movie is way too good for that franchise. Please do let me know in the comments down below. Please give this video a like and subscribe to this channel if horror is your sort of thing. Thanks so much, guys. You all take care, and I'll see you all in the next video.